I think they do at times, and I think as well they almost intertwine and like mesh at some or
Mm,
overlap. I found because you have the bro science on the other hand, 2 to 3 hours, and then you have the evidence based who are preaching nutrient timing to the specific minute, whereas it doesn't really matter. And I think at the end of the day, I mean, as you know, compliance, is a science. Like anything will work as long as effort is applied and you know technique is somewhat decent for that person. For newer people that are coming in, to the industry, I do think there's a ton of misinformation, but I also think even the evidence based can be overwhelming and overcomplicated at first because they think that there's only one way to train and it's this way. And if you don't do it that way, it's the bro science way or you're doing it suboptimally. Whereas what is optimal? It's forever moving. I mean, especially for a novice athlete, going to intermediate and then to advanced. And then often I found a lot of evidence people that swear by evidence-based often spin their wheels a little bit too much because they take a little bit more of a cautionary approach to training without, actually getting their hands dirty and, knowing what intense training is. But that's not to say, because on the opposite end, you have the bro science people that I want to say necessarily overcomplicate, but I think they oversimplify. And you just have to outwork every single day that you come into the gym. And that's I guess a good mindset to have. But what happens afterwards when it stops working?
right. Or you start getting hurt or something along those lines. Because I'm just gonna
Correct.
chime in here because you brought up something great. Where when I first started out, I didn't know. I mean, I got lucky in a way because I came across Lane Norton and 3D Muscle Journey. So I did have some like pretty wicked structure, but at the same time, because I was so young, I didn't know really why some of those principles worked well.
Mhm.
But I was just putting in effort, and then I kind of got sucked into like a really high level of intensity, like high intensity training type approach.
Yeah.
And funny enough, I kind of, because of the way I was doing it, I kind of lost some of my gains. And then, I had to kind of got, okay, this is not working for me, but it took a while to realize it. Right. So it's just,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
I just wanted to mention that because it's interesting that you brought that up. So,
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people could relate to that too. The main reason behind that was I had burnt myself out from 2009 to 2012, just living, eating, sleeping, and just being too hyper focused, on training, nutrition, etc. And